Sup y'all, it's me, it's your boy Asmongold, and today I'm starting a new series. It's gonna be called This Week in Warcraft. It's about Warcraft. So last year I made a video about the running of the gnomes, and I threw out the idea of making a show that not only covered the blue posts, the Blizzard announcements, and everything official that's coming out for World of Warcraft, but also covered community events, community interactions, and cool things that happened within the World of Warcraft community that I wanted to share with you guys, and maybe even throw in a little bit at the end of my own adventures, just so you guys can get an update of where I've been at. So I'm going to be doing that today, and if you guys like it, please go ahead and let me know. If you don't, please go ahead and let me know that too. Unless everybody fucking hates the show, in which that case I won't keep doing it. But if people do like it, I will continue to iterate and make it better until it's something that you guys are looking forward to every single week. So before I get into the first episode, I want to give you, I guess, like my philosophy on what I want to do here. What I want to do is I want to create, of course, content about the official Blizzard news, the blue posts, the important stuff that you need to know that I don't really feel like warrants an entire video. I feel like there are some people that make videos that could be summed up in one tweet, right? I mean, completely, not even with any loss of nuance or context or anything. It could just be summed up in one tweet. And the videos are 10 minutes and 5 seconds long. You know, everybody knows what's going on there. I don't want to do that, man. I like to make videos every single time I put out a video. I want people to be looking forward to it, and I want people to be like, oh shit, that's an Asmongold video, not, oh wow, Asmongold made another video, right? So that's the way that I look at it, and I want to put all of that together in one video so you can watch it and you can be all caught up on pretty much what's going on. On top of that, I also want to cover, as I said, the community events and the different things that happen within the community of World of Warcraft. And there are other shows that kind of go over blue posts and everything, not really from the direction that I want to, but there are other shows that do that, but nobody really talks about the community events and the cool things that happen in the World of Warcraft community. The community's been around for 12 years, and I feel like that gives a huge market and amount of things that I can talk about and go over and share with you guys. And I think that, you know, MMOs create really cool experiences, and so whenever I see one of those on wherever, I want to make sure that people know about that, and then also tell you guys a little bit about what I've been doing, just to, you know, in some regards kind of humble brag if I get something really cool. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and do the first episode here. This is for the week. Just a second, I open up my calendar. June 4th to the 12th. Okay, yeah, that's not a whole week, but you guys know what I'm saying. It's actually 8 days. Weeks are 8 days now. So, anyway, guys, obviously, like, the big thing that I got to be talking about is 7.25, right? That's coming out tomorrow, and obviously that's a huge big deal. Tomb of Sargeras does not come out tomorrow. Tomb of Sargeras comes out on the 20th, and Mythic comes out the week after that. Also, whenever Tomb of Sargeras Mythic comes out, that's whenever the Mythic Plus Dungeon rewards are increased in their cap from 10, where it is right now, all the way up to 15. And one thing that you also need to know with the Mythic Plus Dungeons is not only are the caps being increased, but the actual scaling modifiers are being increased too, which, long story short, it's going to make Mythic Dungeons more difficult. Blizzard said they didn't anticipate on players becoming so powerful throughout the expansion as quickly as they have, and they don't want people steamrolling through plus 20s or even plus 15s. I saw a graph today on Reddit, and it said somewhere around, like, if you're doing a plus 15, if you do a plus 15 after this change, it's going to be very similar to doing a plus 19 right now pre-patch. So they're effectively just making Mythic Plus harder, and they're also reducing the loot. I'm not really sure how that's going to affect participation, but we're going to have to wait and see. Also, whenever you actually do that, the Mythic Plus rewards will go up. If they're doing the 5 scaling modifier for each Mythic Plus dungeon, the Mythic Plus baseline rewards will be 915, which is, I think, the baseline level of Heroic TOS gear. So that's definitely something to look forward to, and I very much am looking forward to that. It does kind of suck, though, that you're not going to be able to get as much loot unless you're doing very, very high-rated keys, which are going to be increasingly more difficult. Now, the other changes that are pretty much being added in 7.25, I'm pretty sure there's about a dozen countdown videos already on YouTube about them, and I don't want to be the 13th, but I will give you a short bullet list on things basically to expect. They're adding Black Temple time walking. Obviously, all of the classes are getting changed for tuning. They're adding new legendaries, and those new legendaries are going within the pool of the current legendaries. There's not any alternate or new ways to obtain them. The PvP season ends. There's a new pet battle dungeon. There's the Chromie scenario. There's some more goofball mini holidays. I think there's the Moonkin Festival, some kind of shit where you dance in the auction house. And there's also an in-game transmog competition. I hope they say it's the wrong belt whenever somebody actually loses it. And I'm sure there's some other stuff too, but those are the main things. So 7.25, I'm obviously really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Tomb of Sargeras is going to bring. I'm waiting until after Tomb of Sargeras finishes and like I actually am able to kill Kil'Jaeden and see what happens to say where I think the expansion is going to go after that. I think there's a possibility that Kil'Jaeden could turn into being like a like a tragic hero at the last moment. He like kind of turns around and he betrays Sargeras or something like that. And I think what's going to happen at the end of Tomb of Sargeras is going to be very, very deterrent, and it's going to set the course for not only this expansion, but the expansion after that. Now, I don't know, but that's just the way the cinematic played out, and that's what I think is going to happen. Also, this week, Class Order Hall mounts came out, which was pretty cool. I myself, as a warrior, I got a retarded Proto-Drake, and some other people, Mages got a fidget spinner, and Shamans got an awesome, cool elemental. So there's a little bit of, I don't know really what to say. Like gradation between some of the class mounts and some of the other ones. The scenarios were pretty interesting. I really liked watching the DK one. I did the warrior one. I thought it was really cool. And I would say in general, it was a fun thing to go through. It's going to be something that everybody has, so it's not going to be a prestige reward, but it's an interesting little thing that people can do. And I'm glad that Blizzard's trying new things. Also, Tarren Mill versus South Shore was a big thing this week, and Tarren Mill versus South Shore is actually a very good way to tell that Blizzard, what I really, I'm going to just stop right there. What I really liked about Tarren Mill versus South Shore is that not only was it nostalgic from the fact that you were going back to 2004 and doing 40v40 in the old Hillsbred, but it was also nostalgic because they basically used the same server structures and probably the exact same servers as they used back then. You continuously lag out, you get queued up 5v40, and it's just a great time if you're the people that have 40. But for the most part, I would say Tarren Mill versus South Shore needs a lot of work, but it's definitely a really cool scenario, and people have always wanted a deathmatch. As a melee class, you kind of have a few disadvantages for that, but I would say it would be really, really fun if Blizzard actually worked out the kinks and made it functionally, I guess, like accessible. There's a lot of just straight up bugs in it where like one team has like 20 people and the other team has 40, or one team has 30, the other team has 40, or you just go into combat and you lag out, and those things need to be fixed, and hopefully whenever they do, by the time it comes around next time, it's going to be a whole lot better. Also, with the Class Order Hall mounts, there was a feat of strength that you could get as a Death Knight, and it was called Unholy Determination. Now, what that was is it gave Death Knights that killed all of the dragons, I think it was all the red dragons, in the Death Knight scenario, it gave them a feat of strength, and it gave them like an extra line from the Lich King. I don't really know what it was. Maybe it's like, good job, dude, or not good job. I don't know. But either way, they took that out of the game. They took the feat of strength out of the game, and this was met with some level of mixed criticism. I personally thought this was a good idea, and the reason for that is because I feel like the last thing you want people to do is whenever they get their Class Order Hall mount, and then they look online and they're like, oh man, I miss doing this thing, and there's no real way besides leveling an entire other Death Knight to redo that. So I feel like either they could have added like an alternate achievement for not killing all of them, or they could have added, they could have just taken it away like they did. And I thought that was honestly the best solution. And I don't know, it's like, obviously it sucks whenever they take things away, but they've done it before, even with feats of strength, and so I'm not really too worried about it, but I can see where some people would be a little bit annoyed if they were the ones that knew to wait and do it afterwards. But I do think it was a good decision for them to take it out of the game. Now, going into the community stuff, there is another ban wave. There is a guild, I'm not going to say what guild it is, but the guild, they streamed themselves doing real money carries, and I think there's a word for that, natural selection. So they were selected to be banned, and Blizzard obviously did the right thing. The people streamed themselves like doing carries for real money. I mean, is this even like a joke? So that happened. I'm glad that they did it. I think that Blizzard needs to have a more hardline stance on that, and it's good to see that they're at least doing something. But I can expect that probably it will continue happening until Blizzard really starts taking it seriously. It just probably won't happen on stream again. Now, the Glory of the Tomb Raider, which is the achievements that you get from completing all the achievements for like doing all the Tomb of Sargeras bosses. So there's like the little like weird meta achievements. It used to give like the armaments of the Legion, which I kind of assumed was a transmog thing, like a little transmog wardrobe that you get. You'd be able to use these weapons. That actually is what it was, but they changed it, and now it's going to give a title, the Tomb Raider. So it'd be like Asmongold the Tomb Raider, and then I believe it also gives a pet as well. I would prefer the weapons, but I think that if they add the weapons as rewards into other things, that would be cool too. Either way, you guys are going to be seeing a video on that probably the first week, or hopefully the first week. And the last thing in terms of news that I want to talk to you guys about is PvP. I saved the best for last, which honestly, guys, is really kind of heartening, and it's a good thing. PvP, there was a very, very big tournament that happened. It was a qualifier cup on the Warcraft channel. I think it was like a couple of days ago, and the tournament broke 25,000 live viewers, which is a huge amount of people to watch a tournament, especially in 2017, and it's more than we've had for a number of months, probably even a number of years. So it's good to see that Blizzard, you know, I think they did I think, who was it? Was it Jeremy McIntyre? Who did like the PvP esports interview. They were very, very motivated, and they had a very, very strong goal in mind to build WoW PvP, WoW esports up. And obviously, as viewers go up in Twitch, that's engagement, and so I think they're doing a pretty good job at that, and I hope it continues. So shout out to everybody that competed, and also shout out to some of the casters, which are some people that actually I know. So it's still a long way to go from where it was, and what's important really to say is that it's on its way up again rather than on its way down. At a certain point, especially at the beginning of Legion, it looked like WoW PvP was pretty much dead. But with them adding more qualifier cups, more ways for people to compete, and just more things for people to watch, I think it's going to do a lot in terms of just generating general interest in watching WoW PvP. So for myself personally, I had some pretty cool things happen this week. I got Prestige 12. Woo! I also soloed Dire Maul on my I soloed Dire Maul on my level 40 hunter, and it was a crazy awesome experience. I have it on like one of my old Twitch broadcasts. It was really, really fun. I would recommend anybody doing it who at least plays a hunter. And I've been soloing all of the old dungeons and just going through them just one at a time, and doing like kind of the less traveled ones. So doing like Black Fathom Deeps, Maraudon, Dire Maul, the ones that hardly anybody ever does again anymore. I went through and I sold them on my hunter with like full heirlooms and everything, and it's been really, really fun doing that kind of stuff, because you have to think of all these crazy cool strategies, and I haven't had a boss stop me yet, but we're not quite to 60 yet either. So also, I got the Koshkon's gloves, or Koshkon's, I don't know how to say the name. So I had all the Fury legendaries, and I only had 2 Prot legendaries left. And it was the gloves and the Trinket. Now, the Trinket, Archimonde, Hatred Reborn, whatever it's called, it's complete garbage, okay? And the gloves are the best in slot. Second best in slot, actually. The ring's best in slot. So what I did is I spent all of my nether shards getting gloves, and I didn't get them. And then I spent all the time that I had, because I told myself I could just feel getting a legendary. And I did all the emissary quests, all the broken shore quests, and I finally got it. And it was just a straight 50-50 chance, but I did end up with getting the Koshkon's gloves for Prot Warriors. I was really glad about that, so I can go into the new patch not worrying that I'm going to have extra items filling up the pool of legendaries that I could potentially obtain. So that was really awesome. Also, of course, I got my class order hall mount, which, as I said before, is pretty much just a real dumb proto-drake. I guess it makes sense, though, because you have to knock it out to tame it. But I did get it, and I guess it was kind of cool. I enjoyed the little cinematic. I thought it was pretty fun, and did it with game sound and music and sound effects and everything on stream. It was really fun, too. So that's pretty much all I've got for you guys this week. I would say it's a pretty interesting week. A lot of really awesome stuff coming out. I'm very much looking forward to patch 7.2, and so, honestly, guys, first episode, I think it went okay. I hope it went well, and I need you guys to tell me which one it did. Now, if you want me to do something else in the videos, let me know. If you want me to try an entirely different thing, let me know. If you think the news shows are redundant anyway, let me know. I just want to know what you guys think so I can know what to invest my efforts into. If people don't like this, I can figure out something else. But I do want to emphasize that I'm really soliciting your feedback. I'm soliciting what you guys really want to see. because I think this would be a cool thing, and I hope other people feel the same. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I've got. If anything cool has happened to you, go ahead and let me know. I think everybody'd want to know. But that's pretty much all. So thank you very much for watching, and like, comment, and subscribe.